I stand-in, Brian Cahill.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Hey, Brian, how are you, buddy?
And he stands in,
So
they get the right lighting because I'm too busy eating potato chips. I work so hard.
This is your 100th episode, based on a real case. Why do you think people keep coming back to it every week?
Well, I think it's a nice pairing up between Mariska Hargitay and myself.
I mean, I spend more time with Chris and his wife. I'm with him more than I am with my boyfriend. This is it. Yeah, but we're together 15 hours a day, every day.
It's a fine line. I try to play both sides of the fence of, yes, I want to get the guy because of, my passion and my need to right the wrongs, but also I understand victims.
What part are you playing in this very special episode?
I play a young woman named Hillary Barclay who had come to Mariska Hargitay's character years earlier to tell her about this man who held me captive. He made me write him love letters.
When did he make you put on the wedding gown?
After I'd been there a while, he said it was time to get married. It's a very special episode to be a part of, and the character was something I could sink my teeth into.
I'm looking for a really tough assistant district attorney.
Let me go see if I can find her. She might be somewhere else.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing well. How about you?
Nice to see you.
It's a pleasure.
Nice to see you.
Such a pleasure.
This is Diane Neal,
Hello.
and she's the newest cast member to Law & Order Special Victims Unit. This show is so dark. Why do you think people come back to it every week?
Because it's about the story.
Mm-hmm.
It really is about what is happening to the victims and the people involved. It's about the crimes. And I think people come back again because, and these are based on real crimes, it's shocking that it actually happens.
Right. Who's the biggest creep on the set?
Oh my, that's definitely Belzer.
Come in here. This is where we're transformed. We're going to get made up.
A real player getting his hair done for television. This is the $100,000 ponytail.
All right. Now my whiskers are gone. I'm going to put on some makeup. Real men do wear makeup.
There's the boys right there. Hi, Steve. How are you?
All right.
Nice to see you.
Richard,
this is your 5th year.
Yeah.
And, of course, you've been around with
I did
Dick.
7 years with
7 years
Homicide,
with Homicide,
with
right?
Barry Levinson, and luckily I'm playing the same character.
Yeah.
But he's almost a real policewoman.
He's close.
He's almost really become a cop.
This is where you do your best work.
Yeah,
isn't
this is the part I like about the show is this interrogation room, because it's usually you and a perp, and you just got to get down and figure out who's telling the truth. One thing about SVU is, as far as you can reach mentally, there's somebody out there deviant enough to go out and commit something worse than that.
Worse. When you started with this franchise, this branch off of Law and Order, you think it had become this successful?
I always felt people were ready for it.
Right.
And your shows are one of those reasons. I think we shine a light in a very dark place.
Right.
So first and foremost, we're entertainment. But if we can enlighten and educate, that's not such a bad deal.
I've worked with so many FBI profilers over the years on America's Most Wanted.
And here it comes.
But you have an insight, the way you take it a little bit farther.
It makes it more interesting for me to play a character who kind of hypothesizes about, why something may have happened, what might happen from this point on, or what's going on in there that can help the detectives do this.
My opinion, you're right on in the part. Neil Baer right here.
Good to meet you.
The
Pull up
big
a chair.
cheese. Thank you. You've had a lot of guest actors on the show. Any favorite over the years?
Well, we worked with so many, wonderful actors, but, the late John Ritter was on our show, and he was one of the kindest people we worked with.
He only cried a little. He only cried a little.
We've had Oscar-winning actors. We've had Mary Steenburgen, who was wonderful.
He loved me.
Henry Winkler.
You know what? This was all a mistake. Yes, I stole your money. She was only supposed to take your watch. You weren't supposed to get hurt.
We've had Fred Savage, for instance, who's never played a bad guy.
She talked to the victim alone, and only then, after all this talking, did the victim identify me.
Chad Lowe.
Can we stop? Can we stop now?
She let you sleep alone. She'd come to you at night, telling you were the man of the house.
You just shut the hell up.
Kelly Martin.
Have got to believe me. I would never, ever hurt Annika.
I'm talking to Peter Lito. He's the producer here on Law & Order Special Victims Unit. Peter, thanks for taking the time.
It's my pleasure.
I've been watching you all day, and I don't think the public knows how many people it takes, how long it takes, and how hard it is. I mean, this is a tough business, isn't it?
Oh, it's a very tough business. It takes a crew of 75 or 80 plus at times, and working sometimes 12, 14 hours a day. And it's a collective effort. Everyone has a task, and they know what to do. And sometimes it looks like chaos out there, but everyone's getting the job done.
Is Ted as crazy as he appears?
Oh, boy, when he gets behind that camera and screams out action, I tell you, you wouldn't know if he were 20 or what have you.
Do you ever think you'd get this far?
No, not in a million years did I ever think we were going to get this far. When I first came onto it, actually, they only had 2 scripts before we started.
Right.
Number 1 and number 2. And I read them and I thought, boy, these are wonderful scripts, but how the hell do we get to number 13? We'll never get there.
For some reason, Americans love cop shows, and this is just the smartest, sharpest, most satisfying one that I think in memory.
I look at it with such a critical eye on some of the cases you do that I've been involved with to see if you're pretty close to what happened or the truth, or you're bending it for dramatic effect or fictional emphasis or whatever. You guys don't bend the rules that much. You see the worst of society on this show, and how does that affect you? I mean, a lot of these cases are really literally ripped from the headlines, and they're about real horrible people.
You know, it may sound cliched, and we are removed from it to a certain degree because it's a fictional side, but there are times that you go home and you hug your wife and daughter a little tighter and give them an extra kiss and realize how fortunate you are.
Well, it's been a long day. I got here about 7 this morning, and as you can see, it's dark out, and it's a little bit after 7 at night. They're going to be in there till about midnight. I'm going to go home and get some rest. They're not done, and we're not done with them. We're going to have them back in our studio, and when they get there, and we get to talk to them, we're going to have some amazing surprises. Coming up next, meet the cast and crew of Law & Order SVU.